and welcome to Meet the Candidates. I'm Bob Pingeton. We got a great candidate for you tonight. Brian Green, he's running for the 2-year term. Mr. Shivix has decided to call it a career. Before we get into Mr. Green, just want everybody to know that LCAC does not endorse candidates. This is a half-hour show for the candidate to get his message out to the great viewers of this town, coming into the living room. And LCAC does not pick favorites. The questions are not rigged. It's a free-flowing show. And welcome aboard, Mr. Brian Green.
Glad to be here. You're my first big public event.
Well, we all know how supportive you've been to all the organization in town. Wonderful wife, Deb, 3 great kids. And you've done yeoman's work helping all the organizations. You've been part of our toll road with Parks and Rec. You've just been everywhere.
Yeah, I've always been the guy behind the curtain, but I was pushed out in front of it for this coming election and said...
And on the other side, a lot of people don't even know you're an Auburn football coach. You're a Rocket along with Mark Grady.
You know? Yeah, Mark's been great. He's helped out a lot.
So why are we running? Why are we running for this 2-year term?
You know, it was never in my mirrors anywhere, never in front of me or behind me. And then a couple people from town approached me and said, listen, town's got a lot of things coming up. And, they need a voice that's not emotional and strong. And, a lot of people know me. I'm the Hillcrest Sewer District Chairman. Been there 14 years. That was a grassroots campaign to put sewers in Hillcrest some 14 years ago. So, I met a lot of people that way, and people don't forget.
Well, I know you've been at a lot of meetings. I've seen you around. What did you think of the meeting last Tuesday night?
Yeah, it went well. It had some pauses that I don't think needed to be paused. The ballot vote for the fire truck, I think, was, a little over the top, a little, I think the advisory board, if they had gotten on it, it would have been a show of hands.
Right.
And the feasible study, everybody, you talk to anyone in town, first thing you hear, I went to that school 20 years, I went to that school 30, and it was a bad back then.
Yep.
So, it's inevitable. Change has to come, and people just have to accept it, The other big thing is, economic development. That's a big...
That was my next question.
Yeah.
What can we do to get business in this town, Brian?
I've owned a couple of my own businesses, and I know it's not easy, believe me, but, and people, like to say to the selectmen, well, yeah, why would business? Well, it's the planning board and the zoning board that have the first right of any business that wants to come into town, and they have to make it, appealing.
Yep, they can change.
And I've talked to a couple of people in town, learning, trust me, Bob. I never knew how out of the loop I was till I started going to more committee meetings and meeting more people and talking to more people of, what goes on and what needs to go on in town.
Well, congratulations. It's great to see some new people running for offices. Like I told Nate in the show before, a couple of years ago, there was a lot of unopposed, and that's really embarrassing. With all the great people in this town, that we can't get 2 or 3 people to run for an office.
And, again, years back, I would have been the guy, because when Deb and I moved to the town, it was sleepy town. Oh, nice little quaint town, takes care of itself.
You're from the West Springfield.
Yeah.
That's a nice town.
Yeah, very
People
nice.
don't realize that that's going to do with Springfield.
No.
It's a town.
Yeah, that's its own. It's its own now. Yeah, it's actually a city now. I think they made it.
Yeah. Like Framingham, right?
Yeah. Then I went to Assumption College and never left the area. I started my first business as a senior at Assumption.
Wow.
Almost didn't graduate.
Now, we talked about, bringing business into this town. You sit across from Hillcrest. What's your feelings on Hillcrest Country Club?
I like it as a country club. I don't think, when I was a big part. It's funny how I can remember the day when that was in trouble and the town could have taken it over, and I actually talked to Tommy Brennan way back in the day and said, well, we're not interested in that. And, and then when Blair bought it to build houses and, all
you would have been looking at some
all
serious
hell broke
stuff.
loose. Yeah, everybody, all the service strain on the town, we would have been in a lot of trouble a long time ago, And I think if the guys who stepped in there and run it now, I go there to eat on the weekends every
Yeah,
now
Bruce
and
and
then.
Jerry, great people.
Yeah, but I think it needs to get a little more developed. I think it, needs money put into it.
Yeah.
And can become something. Because, again, what I find more and more about this town, the people care.
Oh, yeah.
They really,
Big hearts.
absolutely, oh, we want to do a function. Come on down, let's do a
I
function.
mean, we've all seen what's happened since last May 22nd with God bless Ron.
Right.
How this town has united, and the road race. Over 1,000 runners a couple Saturdays ago
Yeah.
or Sundays ago.
Remember the football? That was, we had over
that was
1,200
unbelievable.
1,200 fans.
Yep. Top cop.
Yeah, lining up.
Yep.
It's the only night we all wish we could have ended in a tie.
Yep.
Couldn't have been a better story if it did.
Yeah.
But I'll take the win. Sorry.
Yo. I call that a gift, though. That fumble the other way. That was a swinger right there.
Exactly. That's how you win.
Is politics like football at all?
Yeah, I don't know about that. Because with politics you really can't. In football you can get people to buy in. You can show them what's right and what's wrong. Politics, it's hard. People have their own mind.
Right.
And that's another reason I got involved. Don't get me. You can't be emotional. And God loved the people in this town, but people like to vote on their emotions.
Right.
And that's a problem. Trust me, I could have been, but if you think the whole thing through, you can't think with them. Burn Cove Park. I'm not going to get into it, but someone offered to go in there, put their own money in, build this baseball field, and then, somebody in the back, no, that's not fair. Okay, what's not fair? Well, my kid needs a field. They have softball. They don't have fields. I'm like, all right, but he's willing to let other people use it, but he just wants first rights. And my feeling was, if he goes in and does that, well, then somebody else is going to want to go in and do something else.
Yeah, it's contagious.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But so now there's a little sticking point there, and hopefully it gets resolved. And I'm going to keep my eye on it because I think that again, when I was coaching the Raiders back 20 years ago,
With Goodney?
yeah, there was talk that there was 20 acres up there that if we could get somebody in there to put a football field,
We
go
thought
right
that
ahead.
was going to be the home of soccer club at one time. They were talking about going in there.
That was, not for not. If I had to, that was always my dream, is to build my own indoor facility.
Right.
Soccer.
Some people in town say that we were too easy with Walmart when they came in, that we should have hit them up for a lot more. How do you feel about that?
Yes and no. Walmart, fire truck, 2 fire trucks, I think. All the new lights that, flip to green for the EMS and the fire, that was all paid for by them. Could they have, you can always try to squeeze more, but, you don't want to turn away. But on the flip of that, what I'm finding out is, which I was amazed, how much Becker College does not contribute to this town.
Well, they don't pay taxes,
Nor, they take care of a couple fields.
Yep.
I'm
a Parks and Rec. It's been a good marriage with them at Rochdale.
For
They've done
that,
some great
yes,
things.
yes.
But overall, they do, I don't want to say take advantage, but it's borderline.
Yeah, they don't share.
You know?
But there's a new president coming over there. So, again, I hope if I'm in, he'll be one of the first hands I go shake and say,
Yeah, that's
let's
the
talk.
key. They're not afraid to ask the town for a one-day beer pouring permits and all that good stuff.
So it's got to be a little more give and take. And again, like you said, they do great thing. Because God love the Parks and Rec. You guys are 2 hands behind your back trying to make things work.
We're like Highway. We're we don't have a budget.
And I met with Ron Wood.
Tommy Wood.
Tommy Wood, sorry. Just the other day, because, I'm amazed a 6-man crew covers over 100 miles of road in the winter.
Yep.
And all the other things,
And they mow fields and they do everything
And
in the summer.
again, that's a guy who does it because he loves the town.
Yep.
I was talking to him, he says, oh yeah, tomorrow, he showed me his board. They were going up to the town hall to move furniture.
Yep.
Is that on the highway?
I
he
mean,
said, Brian,
they've been
I don't say no.
offering to do stuff. We're trying to do a memorial to Ron down at Community Field, and Tom's offered his services for that. You know, I mean, it isn't like they have excess labor.
No.
You know?
6 guys.
And then you get rain and push them, you know, things can't
Everything-
get done,
yep.
mowing.
Yep,
But
everything
they
gets pushed
managed
back.
to pull it off.
Yeah, no, they do. Again, hats off. Hats off to a lot. I mean, I'm finding out, you know, level funding for 6 different, you know, highway, library, you know, for the last 4 to 6 years, I think.
Yeah, were you surprised by how much we depend on state aid?
Oh, yeah. It's you know. And
Nate
it's,
was just talking about Sudbury, where he works, how little they depend on him.
Right.
Opposite of us.
Right, and you would think, and again, you know, the smaller towns need that, and with not as many businesses in town without a tax base, you know, you live for that, and that's only going away.
Right.
So we need to find a way to offset that.
You had 3 kids, did well at Leicester High. They went the public school way, and
Yep.
it worked out well.
They went well. I mean, my oldest graduated cum laude from Bridgewater. My daughter is just into everything. You know, she led a group down to Louisiana for spring break to rebuild after her. There's still the woman they helped 12 years out of her house from Hurricane Katrina.
Wow.
12 years. 4
I
contractors.
still watch on the
taking-
Weather Channel what happened there. Unbelievable.
Yeah, 4 contractors taking this poor lady's money and run.
Wow.
They went in there, spent a week, and got it completed.
And FEMA let all those people down.
Yeah, you know.
You know.
It's, you know, and again, that's right. I mean, they're there for the first 3-4 months, and then they got to move on to the next tragedy.
Yep.
You know, and then people get left behind. But that's why this, you know, and like you said, this town's uniting, and I think it's only going to get stronger. But like I said, my feeling is we can't do it with emotion. We got to do it for the overall good of the town.
Well, you know, it's been a little bit of a circus, the board with Mr. Shivik choosing, you know, to kind of leave after, it doesn't even seem like a year, which it really isn't. A lot of things have happened. It's been tough, you know, for the chairman.
Yeah, and you know, things didn't shake out the way they you know, thought, I guess is the word. You know, other agendas come into play, you know, and if you can't work together, you're in trouble, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Shivik got a lot of votes. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it goes to show you, you know, things can change quick.
Yeah, you know, but I can't, on the other side of that, people just, everyone now, Harry Brooks, you know, Harry Brooks was this guy that, all right, okay. And now he's the guy that says, wait a minute, let me answer that.
He's earned the respect.
Absolutely.
You know?
And I hope to, and again, you know, and you know, you know me, I'm not the quiet, passive person.
We know what we're getting now.
Yeah, and that's what I hope, and I hope that's, you know, that's exactly, and it's going to be what's best for this town.
Yep.
You
Getting
know,
back to Harry Brooks, I remember when he
You know.
ran for school committee and he lost, and you know, he you know, he licked his wound and he got right back into the campaigning mode, and
Yep.
look how he did for selectmen. He got a lot of votes.
another guy that truly cares about the town. It goes.
In church and
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Harry-
oh, absolutely, church. Yeah,
Harry
too.
in the Special Olympics, and
Yeah, that's another one of his.
you know,
Favorites.
it's
You
great.
know.
There's a lot of great people in this
There
town.
is, you know.
You
and-
gotta pull together as a team, though.
You know, and not for not, I mean, Doug Belanger has more history than anyone I've ever met with this town and what goes on in the town.
Right.
You know, you may not agree, but he knows the steps that it has to take to get it done.
Right. Will you be, if you pull this off, will you be involved in the process of naming a new town administrator?
Yes. And again, one of the reasons they asked me to consider, you know, stepping in, because that's going to be a huge decision for this town. I mean, Kevin, geez.
Tough shoes to fill.
Oh, and again, things you hear and people, you know, I hear somebody said or wrote or saw, and you know, oh, what's the big deal? He's gone. What did he ever do for the town?
Are you kidding me?
That's what I said. I said, oh my God.
He walked into a mess, to say the least.
I'm like, you know, that's why he just people, please see the facts, know the facts before you put something out there. You know.
You mentioned your involvement with Hillcrest Water. What's your feeling on the town having just one water district?
It is going to come to that. I mean, see, I'm happy to say that the sewer district that I run is different from the water district.
Right.
We're two different. Again, you know, we came in after the fact. You know, back, if you think 14 years ago, that's when Title V regulations became very tough.
Right.
And people were not going to pass Title V in the Hillcrest area, you know. But again, you know, it's too much money, it's too much money, we can't do it. And again, I give me your arm, because I'm going to twist it and tell you, if we don't do it now, it's going to cost you a whole lot more when you have no choice but to do it.
Now, Hillcrest Sewerage is out of Pine Street, right?
Yeah,
A lot of people don't even know that, I bet.
Well, and it's funny. We go to both. We go to Leicester and we go to Oxford Rochdale.
Yeah.
You know, some of Pleasant Street flows down to Oxford Rochdale. So, you know, we have some customers going that way, and then some from Pine up to Leicester.
Yeah, like myself, I live at Cricklewood, so, you know.
Yeah.
But they have nothing
Right.
to do with Leicester Water District.
No, we're our own entity. Happy to say we don't run a deficit. We run in the positive. Balanced budget, a little better, no problems.
But I mean, you know, down the road, I think there will be eventually one.
Yes, and trust me, the day I never thought I'd be a chairman for 14 years on that board either. But, you know, at some point we will be more than happy to turn it over to Leicester, you know, again, with a positive
Unless they
balance
go to
sheet.
term limits before that. But Ted Kennedy never had to worry, so Brian Green doesn't have to worry.
Shouldn't have to. No one's stepping up for that.
Now, how many member board goes with that?
That's another 3-member board. Yep, 3 members. And again, you know, people, and I know I have 3 kids, so I know it. You know, somebody tried to raise our quorum at one point to 20 people. I mean, we're on the phone to try to get 10.
Yeah.
You know, last Tuesday night, 300 people out of what? Over
Yeah, and that was a
7,000 registered
turnout.
voters, and that was a big turnout.
Yeah.
You have that many voters, and then then the people have their ability to write their opinions, and you ask, when's the last time you were at a meeting? Never. When's the last time you voted? Well, I don't. Well, then
But those are people that go to the donut shops and the diners and complain.
badmouth you. You know.
Is Moose Hill a pipe dream, or is that ever going to happen?
I don't think it is. My gut feeling is we do need to investigate it to the best of our ability. But again, that was something they had the ability to do some 10 plus years ago, and said at 3 whatever million back then, it was too much money. Well, that same project now is going to cost you almost 30. And guess what? The funding's not as available as it used to be.
Right. But what do the poor people in the valley do?
You know?
I mean, those water bills are astronomical.
Yes, absolutely. And
And a lot of them are on fixed income. I'm 64 years old. There's a lot of people in the valley that are older than me and waited to retire, support their families loyally over the years, and now they're getting these big bills.
Right, but and with that being said, in the sewer side, we upped our rates, I think about a year or two ago, for the reason that you got to project out. Unfortunately, their projection wasn't there, and now they're caught trying to catch up. Again, if you put Moose Hill online, well, what's it do for you on Cricklewood? You're going to pay for it.
Yep. What am I going to get out of it?
Well, that $30 million's got to come from you too.
Yep.
So how do you feel about it? Are you standing behind it?
It's a tough one.
Absolutely.
Tough one.
But you only wish someone back then said, like I said, do it now or we're going to regret it.
Yep. And here we are.
And here we are.
Buying water from Worcester.
Somebody, I bumped into somebody, and I apologize, I don't remember who it was, but they were talking to me about doing Moose Hill and being able to reclaim some of the water and reusing it. That was their dream, to tie in with Moose Hill. And I'm like, I'd hate to see what that would cost.
Well,
a $30 million.
These water commissioners like Mike Knox and Bobby Wilson, I don't know who I'm omitting, but they've done such great jobs, and it's their time to start thinking about retirement and all that. But neither of them want to leave a mess either. They're caught in a tough position.
And nobody
Mike
wants
Knox has been a valiant employee of that district for years.
And nor does anyone want to step up and take the ball and run with it.
Yeah,
because
that's
it's
the
going to
other
be,
side of it.
I'm not taking that mess over,
Nope.
you know? But like you said, you know, does the town it all comes under one hat and then, you know, work on each other's resources to try to get it to work, you know?
Where do you think we'll see some economic development, on Route 9 West or on 56? If there's gas brought in, I guess that could help out.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote on 56. I'm gonna actually, that's probably one of the things I most want to get involved with is the economic development end of it.
Yep.
It really is. I think being a small business owner, you know, I have a little light onto that, and to drive down that road and see available signs on every inch of that road is, to me, gives me a stomach ache. You know, there's
And now Millbrook's closed.
right, and that is a missed opportunity. You know, and you know, Millbrook has a perfect place for somebody, and I know who that somebody is, but I'm not going to say. But it has to work. We have to get it to work.
You know, people.
You know.
You mentioned Tom Brennan. Now, people laughed at Tommy 20 years ago when he brought up the on-ramp on 56. I know the ramp would not be in Leicester, it'd be in Oxford, but
I'll tell you right now, I tell my kids, I said that probably over a year ago when they were going to the full transponder system, because now you don't need no toll booths. Now you just need an on and off ramp.
yep,
How
changes things.
It absolutely changes things. Changes it a lot. And I live on 56, and people, oh, trucks going down 56 to the airport. Well, move or bear with it.
All right.
You know,
I know it's easy to say now, but what was your feeling on CVS?
it was tough for me, you know, because I wanted it, but I felt where they wanted to put it was going to be a problem.
All right.
You know, not, and I don't know if you've seen it, but I've almost gotten killed twice when Cumberland Farms put that new road out the side.
Yeah.
I've almost gotten killed twice there.
I never realized it till last weekend. You can't turn left during some hours.
Yeah, but they're only till 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Really? Doesn't traffic get busy around 5? But
Yeah.
you know, I'm
I
like,
haven't noticed that this weekend.
they hadn't put it up. They just put it up probably less than a month ago, the sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't up there from the get-go.
I mean, I believe me, I know Leicester needs a new fire station, but I wasn't a fan of that particular spot,
No?
you know. But I mean,
Can I ask why?
I just think that's a bad spot, congestion-wise.
So here's my theory on that. They're gonna rework the road to get in and out of there anyway. But from the town's point of view, because the way Leicester works, it's always with a penny, not a dime. And that property was $1, and it was just sitting there being mowed. So it was the greatest piece of property in the world for $1.
Right. I
You
mean,
know.
Inland Divers had issues. The Greenwood Auto was a nightmare environmentally.
That would be, I wouldn't
So,
even
I
go, I wouldn't
understand.
go near, I wouldn't, that Greenwood Autos, yeah, that would be,
Yeah, that was something you don't want to touch.
no.
I mean, I don't know a lot about it. I just thought that it would have been nice to have it right next to the police station.
Yeah, you know,
You know?
and that was my feeling back when. I'm like, why aren't we doing this project together? 5 years. Well, I'm like, why wouldn't they put them all in the same house? And then somebody said something that made so much sense to me. You know, you have a full-time police department. You have an on-call fire department. Whose house is it?
Well, we got a full-time police department with a police chief that works 80 hours, but we don't really have a dispatch.
Well, yes.
The new system, it's too early to evaluate it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, of course, it's saving money, you know. I'd like to see where that money's going, because, you know, I noticed that in the special town meeting, we had to allocate another $64,000 to the police,
Right.
which no one even asked the question about, but we'll let that go for another debate. So, you know, there was a savings there. But again, like you said, well, we just built this place and we're taking it out of there. Yeah, you know, if that dispatch room was as big as this room, which is what, 12 by 12, that's a lot of space. It doesn't take up a lot of
All
space.
the problems in this town, and the most frequently asked question over the last 20 years has been, why did we buy Hillcrest? It's amazing. People will still ask that question.
Yeah. Well, because we didn't have the money to build a school, get a big enough fire truck to cover. I think they wanted what, 250 homes, if I
But there's
remember
people
correctly.
that wanted the fire station on Hillcrest. which would have never worked.
No.
But if we had Bud Hillcrest, we would have had to build a new school because we had all the housing from Blair.
Right, absolutely.
What do they call that, chapter something housing?
Yeah, oh yeah, chapter 7, chapter 11?
6, or is it?
Yeah, I know what you mean though.
We would have had,
Yes.
probably build a new school within a couple of years.
Yes, there would have been, I would like Hillcrest to stay as a golf course, and the town can make money off of it. I really believe that.
If there's improvements made,
yeah,
I believe.
absolutely.
I'm not sure what the future holds for Jerry and Bruce.
That's what's, somebody, they put their time in also, so they may want to give up,
So what's your message here? Now it's your chance to get to the people, bring it into the living room.
Like
now.
you and I have we've touched on many things tonight, and again, my feeling is, people in Leicester care about each other and they want it to succeed. And I think we'll be able to succeed if we stay together and don't go with emotion. Look at what the whole situation of the town is and do it for the town. And that's the key. We need to do it for the town.
And be patient. I mean, we've come this far together, right?
Yeah, and like you said, if we can get the same committee together that found Kevin, hopefully we can find the next Kevin.
Yeah.
And I hope to be part of that. And again, my economic is a big thing. And like even for you guys, for Park and Recs to finally get some money back in their budget so they can do what they want.
And Brian, the key is to have somebody that can grant writing. It seems like it's a rare art to find somebody, and I think that can go a long way.
I believe I had that conversation. I think it was with Diana. And that was one of the things I said about our next town manager. They need to be able to be a grant writer. And Kevin, to a degree, Kevin is. He's written a lot of them. But like you said, I know they're working a grant with Massport, right?
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, and that'll help you guys a lot.
Oh yeah.
Because it's geared towards recreation.
Yep. Environmental good stuff.
Yes. So that's I'm hoping that works out. And, it's something I plan on following.
Well, I can tell you one thing. If you pull this off, I can imagine how fast a 2-year term would go by, because a 3-year seems to go like that.
Yeah.
But a 2-year?
I'm glad in a way, I'm glad it's a 2-year, because like I said, it wasn't even in my mirror or in my front view. So I think the 2 years is going to fit. And like, if it works, I've been at the sewer for 14, so who knows what can happen.
Was this something Deb was right behind? Did you have to?
Yeah, no. She definitely was not right behind. She may not be right behind it yet either.
So she's not the campaign manager?
No, she's not. I think my daughter might be. She's gonna work. Well, she's actually working on the web page now, so I can start getting some messages out there.
I can only make an analogy. I was there on Thanksgiving Day, the way Casey Green went out. I hope you come in the way Casey went out, because what a way to end a football career.
It was, and I'm happy to say he kept going. He decided to go to college and play
That was one
ball.
heck of a game he had
Yeah.
at Prouty.
Yeah, that trophy still stands big in our house.
Wow. Thank you so much.
His brother's a little bitter, but.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't realize it. Ryan Green was Ron Tarantino's assistant coach in rec basketball.
Yeah.
Your son was great. He came back after playing in our league to coach in our league.
Yeah.
And Ron took him as his assistant coach.
Yeah.
So you got special kids.
Yeah, and Casey's good friends with his son, Ron's son. Spencer, very tight.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Well, good luck. Get some signs out there.
Yeah, I'm working on that. Yeah, that'll be the first thing.
It's an easy name to remember.
Hey,
are you gonna get green? Hey, would you get green signs?
They are green signs.
Oh, that's good. Logical, right?
Hey, town wants to go green. Let me help them.
Well,
right?
The election is June 13th.
Yes.
And we need a high turnout. We pledge that every time. We don't beg. We just.
Oh, quick thing. May 25th, Pleasant Street Diner. Sherry Hurley offered the facilities to host a meet and greet. She's
Awesome.
going to do snacks. So, yes, May 25th. So, right after the debate.
So, the good thing is, if I don't have my fence up by then, I can beat her husband up.
He doing it?
Yeah, he's been busy with the rain. I mean, all these contractors and landscapers.
They're all behind.
Mark Curley's a great guy. I happen to, run into him, and he's come out of my house, and he'll be back.
Great.
And he's promised to help us out. with the Tarantino Memorial.
Yeah,
So-
Sherry was great. I mean, she heard, that was the first thing. She goes, have my place, have a meet and greet.
Yeah, no,
I'll do
Sherry.
snacks,
Yeah.
you know, so
Right on some of Harry's bus trips with her.
6:30, May 25th.
Well,
Be there.
Good luck. Be back with another show on LCAC. Once again, thank you, LCAC, for the use of the equipment here. And like I say, another show down the road.